The protocol we use is you come to this microphone up here, and it's a voice-activated mic, so you have to stand relatively close. We ask you to state your name and your address. Then we ask you to keep your remarks to 5 minutes or less, and we have a light system here, the yellow light showing you have 1 minute left, and the red light saying it's time to wrap up. So with that, I'll ask first for Ms. Glenn Baxter, or Mr. Glenn Baxter, I'm sorry. But he probably knows what year it is, too.
Yes.
And answers the questions.
Mayor, council members, supporters, and guests and friends, today we'd like to bring forward, we've already provided you packets. We'd like to bring forward an idea that we think is long overdue, and that is the regulation of, or the prohibiting of sale of animals in public places within the city of Sierra Vista. Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me, Glenn Baxter. I was so excited to get started. President of the Cochise County Humane Society, and I am a resident of the metropolis of Hereford, Arizona. And again, not to repeat myself, but we're here to support the concept of looking at the prohibition of the sale of animals in public forums throughout the city of Sierra Vista. This is a problem. It's manifested in several different ways. One is the proliferation of disease and or the uncontrolled aspect of animals being sold with no regulatory aspect. We have too many cases, as confirmed by the veterinarians and others in this community, of puppies being sold or animals being sold that have health issues, either through the lack of inoculation or vaccination, and health checks by a qualified medical or qualified veterinarian or that type of individual. These health issues then manifest themselves in the pets that are then released into the community. And this release of animals, diseased or not, is the crux of the problem. We have an excellent animal control facility and staff, but it too finds itself overwhelmed with the need. What we're addressing here today is the source, or one of the sources, of this problem. The uncontrolled, unregulated sale of animals in public forums or public properties. What we're dealing with is impulse. What we're dealing with is the warm fuzzies that all of us probably experience when we see a puppy or a kitten. And in the venue of parking lots, primarily that of the Walmart Sutherland's area, these puppies are readily loved. The kids walking by, the parents walking by, are susceptible to the emotion of wanting and desiring that animal, without forethought as to, is the animal the right pick? Is it the right breed? Is it the right temperament for their family environment? So what we're dealing with is a knee-jerk impulse of people obtaining animals with the intention of taking them home, and finding after getting home that the other spouse or other members of the family find it unacceptable. They then have to deal with an issue of potential health, as I've indicated before. And with those issues comes, many times, the unfortunate judgment to dispose of the animal. Now, I use the word dispose because you can fill in the interpretation, the semantics, the definition of the word dispose. Is it brought out to the country and released? Is it dropped off at animal control? Is it disposed of in some other way that's less than pleasant? This animal's done nothing wrong. It's only existed. And it's existed to demonstrate unconditional love to its owner in what we would hope would be a forever home. But that's not the case. And it's not the case in so many cases that we are now bringing it before you to make you aware of the problem that it creates. We're going to hear other people today that have real-life, actual circumstances that have resulted in enormous emotional strain and expense. With also the sale of puppies and the aspect of the animal population, right now the Cochise County Humane Society has been engaged in an effort since July to offer low-cost, reduced-cost spay and neuter throughout the county. Our primary focus is the greater Sierra Vista area, but since July, we've been able to facilitate over 2,600 animals. We've altered their reproductive capability. We've made such a difference that the county animal control has told us that we have made a measurable difference. They see the effects of us reducing the animal population. What we're proposing today is we go back to one of the major sources of the animals. We're not trying to prohibit free enterprise. We're not trying to prohibit those responsible breeders. What we're trying to reduce is the irresponsible that result in these unwanted, eventually unwanted and or unhealthy pets that we have to deal with by the taxpayers, by the community, and it's manifested in many, many different ways. So I ask for everybody's clear conscience and clear judgment in considering the facts we're presenting today and help us eliminate a tremendous source of this animal population. Make these people, they want a puppy, go to the home. Put your ad in the paper. Bring the people to your house, show them your dog, show them your health certificates. Let's make these citizens take responsibility for the sale of these animals. If they're not willing to do that, the public should not be burdened with the results of this irresponsibility of pet ownership. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Baxter. Our next speaker, Gretchen Heinauer.
Mayor and councilmen, I appreciate you hearing us for our cause. My name is Gretchen Heinauer, and I man the emergency medical line for the Humane Society. And I'm here to say that from my information and experience of all the years that I've been doing this, what I have recorded is an overwhelming amount of animals that have been obtained from the Walmart Plaza, and many of them have indeed needed medical care. For example, within the last 3 months, I've noted that I've received 19 phone calls. All of those animals were from the Walmart Plaza. So that is why I'm here tonight, hoping that we can somehow end this. It's just out of control. Again, I always ask where the owners obtain the animal, and that is usually the answer I get is the Walmart parking lot. And they're usually a very ill animal. That's the standard answer. Do you have any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Heinauer. I'll remind everybody something I neglected to mention beforehand. During the call to the public, the council listens and understands we are prohibited by our own rules of conduct from interacting with or asking questions or being a part of the discussion.